Good morning. Time to make the coffee. Ooh, the coffee is steaming. I guess it's a little chilly in here. Anyway, it's only going to be 68 degrees today. And I think I'm going to try and catch up on some things inside. We're supposed to get some rain a little later this afternoon, but I don't know. It keeps passing us by. So we'll see. But I would appreciate some rain at this point. I know some people like the sunshine all the time, but not me. I like a mix. I like even a short stretch of rainy days is fine with me. I just make myself cozy in the house and don't worry about it. So yesterday, I left the creamer out and I made myself a soy latte. So it was really good. So I think I'm going to do that again today and probably tomorrow and Wednesday, at least until I get to the store and I can stock up on my chocolate creamer. But I'm enjoying the lattes. I think they're pretty good. So soy milk, like I said, froths very well. It's all mostly froth. So in the cup I have chocolate raspberry creamer again. But I think I'm going to also try caramel and whatever else. Maybe some pumpkin, because I have different syrups. I like to keep stocked up on syrups. That way I can have variety. And variety is the spice of life, even if you're on a really tight budget. So I know Dollar Tree sells a couple basic flavors of syrups. I get mine at Mark's because they have a bigger selection. So that's where I like to get mine. But I have gotten them at Dollar Tree in the past too. I think they have hazelnut and vanilla, and they might have caramel, I'm not sure. But anyway, for $1.25 they are a lot cheaper because at Mark's the syrups, they're Torani, and they cost $3.99 last time I bought them. Who knows what they cost now. So cheers. You can hear it. Very tasty. So, I don't think I'll be doing anything outside. I've been saying that for days, and I still haven't done anything outside. But I'm going to have to get to it, but not today. Today I have some things inside that I need to do. I need to put the batteries back into my smoke detector and my carbon monoxide detector. The ladder has been up in the hallway couple days now, so I need to get that. I hope I have batteries, otherwise it's going to have to wait until Wednesday when I go shopping. But that's the problem with the Dollar Tree batteries. If you buy them, they're a good price, but they don't last very long. So, and I think I'm going to have to replace the battery in my home thermostat as well, because it's happened before a couple times that I woke up to a really, really cold house because that battery died and it wouldn't run the thermostat. So you might want to think about changing the thermostat battery when you change your other batteries for the year. So I guess today I'm just going to do some of the chores I have. I got the number for a different handyman, and since the fellow that does a lot of my handyman work for me is actually a friend of my son's, my son told me yesterday that his mother ended up in the ICU, so I'm sure he's not going to be able to do my jobs here. So anyway, I'm going to give this other fellow a try. And I found him, his truck was parked in one of my neighbor's driveways. So I just got the number off of that. I have no idea what kind of work he does. So we'll have to see, but I think I am going to start him off with my shutters and go from there, because I would like to have those done before they do the roof and the front window. So, okay, I'm going to enjoy my latte before there's no foam left, and I will meet you at the budget book. Okay, here we are, back at the same old budget book. So yesterday I didn't spend any money. I don't plan on spending any today or tomorrow, but I noticed on the Aldi's flyer that until the 19th, they have avocados on sale for 49 cents. So I might change my shopping date from the 20th to the 19th if my Social Security arrives by then. So, well, the good part is at least the government hasn't shut down yet, so I'm pretty confident that this month I'll be getting my Social Security check. So that would be great. And yeah, that would not be a good thing for a lot of older people on Social Security if the government shut down. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think they don't send out their checks either. I hope I'm wrong. That would be not good. So if I'm wrong, let me know in the comments below how that works. But anyway, I know that's what happens with tax refunds. They just will hold on to them. But anyway, let's just keep our fingers crossed that that doesn't happen. So I'm hoping to only have 1 or 2 shopping days this month. I have my list going. I have all my things that I need from Walmart in the cart. And it's not a big, huge shopping list, considering it's been 6.5 weeks since I went shopping. So, and I'm trying to keep it very pared down. Now, that doesn't mean I'm not going to buy anything for the stockpile that I've depleted. I will continue to do that because I think that's important. Because, I don't know, this time of the year supposedly is supposed to be getting worse, believe it or not. So I'm going to err on the side of caution. You know, if you think it's crazy, then okay, I'm good with that too. But I like having my own little quasi-grocery store in my house. That way I never have to go to the store unless it's convenient for me. And that's the way I like it. So I think most of you guys know that have been with me for a long time that I wasn't always frugal. In fact, I was a spendthrift. And before all the proverbial doo-doo hit the fan, I had a change of heart, and I decided I wasn't going to do that anymore. So really, this recession and all this other nonsense that's happened the last 3 years didn't have as much to do with my frugal journey as my paradigm shift to stop spending, buying a bunch of stuff, filling up my house that I don't need. That started before all this other stuff went on. So, and now I'm glad that I did start that journey sooner rather than now. But it's never too late to start being more frugal. So living paycheck to paycheck is very difficult, and a lot of us have to do that. I mean, if you only get so much money and you want to hang on to the house you have and the car you have, and you want to somehow try and maintain a lifestyle that makes you happy, then that's what you have to do. You need to live within your means as best you can. And if you have to use credit cards, at least try and pay them off as soon as you can, rather than continuing to add on to it and onto it and onto it. So, I mean, I was always able to pay my bills. I did have credit card debt that I paid off, and then I added to it, and then I would, pay it down, and then I would add to it again. And it was like a vicious circle, and it wasn't making me happy. It was stressing me out a lot, actually. Oh, am I going to have enough to cover this in the time frame that it needs to be covered? So I decided I did not want all that stress anymore. I mean, it's still stressful because of the change in the economic system, but and then a lot of people that have had investments that invested for retirement, they're not doing too great either, a lot of them, because it's gone downhill so much. People have lost a lot of money that they scrimped and saved for, and it's really criminal. It really is. The fat cats keep getting fatter. They do their trading that we're not allowed to do and make millions. I think anybody that's a political figure, if you look at their bank account and they have millions in there, there's something not quite right, because on their salary, even a presidential salary, I mean, for the burden of the job is not that much. And our former leader actually donated his whole salary for the whole time that he was in charge. I don't know if you knew that or not, but that's a fact. And then we have those people that just keep shoveling the money into their accounts. So that's my opinion. I think any politician that becomes rich during the time in office, there's some shenanigans going on. So anyway, they don't say crooked politician for nothing. I guess a lot of them earned that reputation. I'm not saying all of them are that bad, but I would say the majority. So, okay, enough about that. I don't want to get dinged here because I said something wrong. But so here we have to be a little bit on the, err on the side of caution with what we say, unfortunately. But we will get through. And anyway, that's my little talk on the budget and finances. Try not to keep adding to your credit card, because you do get to a point where you're so stretched thin, because I've been there. You're stretched out so thin that you don't really have any extra for anything. So my main goal now is to pay off everything I can and be done with that, and then just totally live within my means. So, okay, I will meet you a little later, and I think I'm going to resume my morning pages. I haven't been writing those lately. I've been a little lax on those. But that's okay. I mean, I write them, then I forget about them for a while, and then I start writing them again. But I really enjoy writing my thoughts down on paper, and then you can either look back at it and see if you've made progress, or you can see where you still need to do some work. So that's why I like the morning pages. And if you want to just call it a journal, that's fine too. Whatever works for you. All right, I'll be back. This morning's simple brunch is going to be some crepes. I have this little crepe maker that I got on Amazon a while ago. And then I have some leftover pancake syrup that I thinned down. I'm going to see if that'll work as a crepe. It may not because there's baking powder in there, but we'll see. I'm still going to use it up. So I'm going to bake these, and then I'll be back and show you how they turned out. Seems to be working beautifully. Looks like a beautiful crepe to me. I wonder if you could make tortillas on here. I'll bet you could. All right, well, here's breakfast, brunch this morning. Well, it's brunch. It's almost noon. My crepes, I filled them with the yogurt mixture. I have a little left over. I'm just going to eat it the way it is. Some powdered sugar. And this freezer jam was just a mixture of fruit that I had that was going really soft. So I chopped it all up and put it in a little pot and added some pectin. They make pectin just for freezer jam, so that's what I used. Put them in these little mason jars that I got from a Dollar Tree candle. They're great for little bits and bobs of leftovers, and stuck it in the freezer. And I made that a while ago. I think I have one more left. It's a good way to use up your fruit and not waste it, and then you can use it in things like the crepes. So I'm looking forward to eating this. Let me give it a taste. I'm sure it'll be delicious. Oh, that's good. And all out of little bits of stuff that I could have thrown away, but I made it into a meal. All right, use what you have. All right, well, it's afternoon. I've been doing some things I made myself a little list this morning, just things, little things that needed to be done. So I did call another handyman, and he's supposed to be stopping by to give me an estimate around 5, he said. So he said he owns the handyman company, and he also owns a landscaping company. So I have a few questions to ask him. I made a list for that too. If he's reasonable and he can do it all, then I'll see how much he charges, and maybe I'll just use him since he has his own business, and hopefully he shows up. So anyway, another thing I've been doing today, I've been walking around my house and thinking about the downsizing process. So I'm having a cup of white tea. I don't know if I like it or not. I had it once, I think, but I can't really remember if I liked it. With some honey. No, it's too hot to drink. So what I've been doing is I've been cutting these little zinnias and just making a little tiny bouquet that I keep on my kitchen table, and it just really cheers me up. So sometimes it's just the little things that you do for yourself that make things a little bit special. Now, that doesn't cost me anything. It's flowers I have. If you don't have a garden and you live in an apartment, then you can go on a nature walk and pick some flowers there. There's some beautiful asters, I think, are out now, and Queen Anne's lace. I've seen that. So that just those two things would make a really pretty bouquet. And then I light a little candle, and because the kitchen is where I spend most of my time. So it just makes it homey and gives it a nice ambiance. So anyway, I was starting to talk about my home and downsizing and decluttering. Now, years ago, many, many years ago when I was a kid, we used to have an organ, and my dad always wanted me to play the organ. I don't know why, but he did. So they got me lessons, and that didn't go real well. It wasn't my thing. I mean, probably my dad should have learned to play the organ because it's not something I ever said I wanted to do. But I muddled through. I had a couple of teachers that weren't the best. I was more into singing. I liked joining the choir, and there was a small group called the Madrigals, and you know, we would sing songs. That was all through school. But anyway, getting back to the other story about the organ, at some point, I guess it had to be tuned up, and we had this, he was an older man. Well, you know, from the perception of a child, he was an older man. And I don't even know what we were talking about, but he said to me, he said, well, he said, you know, if you have a stool in the middle of your room and you keep tripping over the stool, then you have to move the stool or you're going to keep tripping over it. And I think that's true with so many things in life. If we have things that annoy us or aren't working for us and we don't change it, then we're just going to keep making the same mistake or tripping over that stool. And hopefully I'm making sense here. But all these years that stuck with me. That moved the stool if you keep tripping over it. So it's the same way in your house. Now for me, as I'm downsizing, I look at things and I think, because sometimes I just don't do things. You know, I just don't want to do it for one reason or another. So I kind of have to analyze, why is this so difficult for me to do? Why don't I want to do this? A big thing for me is washing the floors. I hate it with a passion. So the biggest obstacle for me is I have so much stuff I have to move. I have throw rugs. Those are a pain in the butt. I like them. I like the way they look. The dogs like them. But you have to move them in order to clean properly. And then you have chairs sometimes that are hard to clean under for whatever reason. You have baskets, or you have dog toy baskets, or a dog bed, or whatever it is that makes it unpleasant for me to wash the floor. So rather than being able to just go ahead and wash it, I have to move all this stuff. You have to vacuum the rugs. You have to vacuum the dog bed, whatever. And it's just one big pain in the butt. So I like to try and think of things, well, what can I do so that it's not such a big task for me to do whatever it is I want to do. So another thing that I don't like to do is I don't like to wash my hair. I mean, I do, but I don't wash it every day. I used to wash my hair every day when I was younger because it was a a little bit on the oily side, not too bad, but, and I've always had long hair, which I like. But the part that I don't like about washing my hair is I lose a big glob of hair whenever I wash it. And to me, that's very unpleasant to have this big glob of wet hair. And shampooing, rinsing, sometimes shampooing twice, rinsing, putting conditioner on, rinsing, it like takes forever. So what I did was I found a shampoo, I think it's Head and Shoulders, that has the conditioner right in with the shampoo. This way all I have to do is shampoo once, the conditioner's already in there. It doesn't really alleviate the hair glob, but at least it slims down and trims down the time that I'm in the shower, which also saves me money. Because to do all that takes quite a bit of water and quite a bit of time. So another thing I've done, because my hair was always real long, another thing I've done is started wearing my hair shorter. Now it's longer now because usually what I do in the summer, I let it grow longer. I'm kind of opposite of everybody else. And in the winter, I cut it a little bit shorter. Now, I don't want my hair real short. I just don't feel comfortable with it that way. But in the summer, I like it longer because I can wear it up in a ponytail or in a bun. So in the summertime, I don't like hair on my neck, so I keep it a little longer. But with fall and the cooler weather coming now, I probably will, cut it a little shorter. And that way it's easier to comb out too, because I comb it out in the shower. So just things like that to try and make things a little more simple, a little more streamlined. That really helps me do the tasks and things that I need to do. Let me try this tea. I have honey in here. It's good. Actually, one of my least favorite teas is green tea. I'll drink it. It's not like I never drink it, and I know it's probably the healthiest, but to me, the green tea has a bitter aftertaste. I don't know, do you find that to be true too? And if you do you have a little trick that you do to kind of kill the bitter aftertaste? But anyway, so I'm trying to use up the teas that I have, just the random teas that, you try them and then it's like, yeah, they're okay, but they don't make it to your favorites list. So they kind of sit there like forever. So I'm trying to use those up. Now, I do make iced tea. I drink iced tea every day, really, pretty much. So every couple days I make a big jug of iced tea. And for that, I like to use the same tea bag combination. I found one that I like, so that's what I do. But like if I have a hot cup of tea, then I'm trying all these different random teas again that I bought, trying to downsize on the teas as well. So when I went to my mom's the other day, I was very happy that, because I used to have 3 freezers. Well, let me back up. I had 2, one in the garage and one in the house. The one in the garage is the one that gave up the ghost. A lot of you know that story. So I took a lot of that food over to my mom's because for a long time I didn't have a second freezer. So I tried cooking down the freezer in my kitchen, and then I would bring stuff from my mom's. And then I ended up buying a small chest freezer. So the freezer now at my mom's is almost totally depleted with my things. Now, I don't have everything that I ever eat in my freezer. There's certain other things that I need to replenish or, put on my list. So there's a lot of tofu in there. There's vegetables. There's stuff from my garden. That sort of stuff is in there. But things like potatoes and onions, carrots, lettuce, celery, all those things I need to restock. So I can't just cook only from my freezer. In the pantry, it has basic things, like flour, sugar, rice, beans. So I can't just cook from my pantry either. So I need to make a combination of freezer, pantry, and also food that I need to buy. But I'm still working on only buying food once a month. I've gone longer this time. It's been 6 weeks. And then I did replenish by going to the food bank instead of going grocery shopping. Because this is the month where my window money is due, and I'm still not quite all the way there, almost. And the roof is going to be done this month. So, and then all those repairs that I'm having the repairman come and do. So, yeah, money's tight. I'm not complaining. I'm not whining. I'm not complaining. I'm just saying that, you have to juggle a lot and do what it is you need to do when you're on a low income, So, and, a lot of us, some of us, we move. We sell our house, we move, we sell our car, we start taking public transit, but we're all different. I like where I live. I love my house. I built it as my retirement home. And, through no fault of our own, the economy has really put a monkey wrench in the works for most of us. Unless you're, rolling in money. But even then, you're still spending a lot more than, you want to. So I know so many of you have left comments about your struggles, and I really feel for you. I really do. I know how difficult it is. Some of us are a little more lucky. Some of us are a little not so lucky. There's all ranges of hardship in life. So, and I know there's seniors out there that have to live with their families because they just cannot afford anything. But none of us planned this ahead. If you had a really good job for most of your adult life, I had a really good job for, I would say, the last 5-6 years of my career. I had a good job, and I did save money. I put money away. But, that doesn't last forever either. And hopefully, I'm going to live another 10, 20 years, whatever. If I follow in my mom's footsteps, it could be another 20 years. And you don't want to totally deplete your savings either, and then you're going to be in a big world of hurt. So you have to be careful with your money nowadays. You can't just willy-nilly go on spending like we used to. I used to. So anyway, I just wanted to talk a little bit about being a senior, some of the roadblocks that we face, and let's not forget our health. We need to start spending more money on our health, and like it or not, Even if you're on Medicare, you know, a lot of us have to buy Part B and C, plus your supplemental, and none of those are cheap. So you're looking at least $350+ a month just for those things, even though Medicare is free. But, you know, we paid into that our whole life that we worked. So it's not a government handout. It's something we paid into. It was like a savings account. Same with Social Security. It's not a handout. It's something that we worked for, and it was taken out of our pay. And let's not even forget the taxes nowadays. Everything is taxed. You buy a car, you pay taxes. You sell the car, taxes again. You buy a used car, you pay taxes. You know, every time you turn around, there's a tax on something. So, real estate tax. Everything is taxed. So anyway, we'll be okay. God will provide. If God brings us to it, He will bring us through it. And I really believe that. So, all right, my friends, that's all I have for you today. I want to wish you abundant blessings. I love you guys. Be good to yourself. Be good to others. God bless you, and I'll see you next time. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe, comment, and like. It helps my channel grow. Thanks for watching.